All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I just started this meeting right now, and we have a lot of people still trying to join in. One of the major things we want to do today is to kind of see if we can let you see the reality even before you get to the United States. So we're trying to bring people who belong to um the two hiring options that you have, either direct agency and the direct hospital hire or agency hire. We're trying to bring both of them on the program, and we're going to ask questions. You two are going to ask your questions. We'll try and see what are your options, what really informs you in making a decision on which agency to join. Okay. So today we have some people in our midst. We have one of my very good friend. His name is Frank Obidile. Frank is an ICU nurse. He has been an ICU nurse for I don't know, very long time is what I would say, because we started in National Hospital, and then here he has still maintained his skills. And that's one thing that happens in the United States. A lot of people don't tell you guys the truth, but let me tell you, most people that come over here, in most cases, they can't, if they can't keep up with their skills, they just have to kind of take a very low bow from the profession that we know them from. Like a lot of people that are OR nurses, they come over here and they feel like, oh, it's too much. The hospital is fast paced. I cannot do it again. And what one thing you see is they go down to like massage, or they go to nursing homes, and they are comfortable. And I don't have anything against massage or nursing home. We're all doing the work, you understand? But this great guy has been in ICU and has maintained his skill in ICU. And I give kudos to him for doing that. He will be also giving us a little bit of insight about his journey, pre-NCLEX, post-NCLEX, and then upon arrival in the United States, how it has been. So that's what he's going to be doing today. And we have someone else that we're going to be welcoming in a short while. She is a direct agency hire, and she'll be giving us her own side of the story about agency hire, what you have to expect when you are an agency hire and all that. So without wasting much of our time, Frank is a very busy person. He already told me he has a couple of Zoom meetings today. So we're going to have like a short time with him for him to give us this insight, and then we ask questions, then we move over to the next person. But on a nutshell, we're going to be having a little introduction. I know a lot of people that are here is from EAG. I know some other people may be from other places. I don't know where our link went to, but mainly we have people, sorry, not EAG, EPG, sorry, Exclusive Pre-Arrival Group. Okay, so we had to do a lot of removal of people because there's been a lot that has been going on. A lot of people that are in that group are of no good to you guys. They don't comment, but they go by the back, and then they try to either backstab some people or try to tell you guys, give you some bad advice about the United States, which are not the reality. A lot of people are being advised, once you come in, break your contract. See, I'm gonna deal with that very soon. Okay, so because some of those people are not influencing anybody for any good, so we tried as much as possible to get them out of the way. So we know that people who we have in the group are people who really need the information we bring in their way. So that was the essence of the removal of people from the group, and also to make sure we keep you guys united and keep you guys focused and not being distracted by what's happening around. So that's any question you ask on the group and you feel like you're not getting answer, you can come to me or any of the admins, and your questions will be answered. All right, so right now I'm going to give the room to Mr. Frank, and Frank is going to give us a little story about himself, and then he will tell us about his pre-NCLEX process and planning, how it went for him, and then post-NCLEX, what happened around then, and then he will also tell us about, when he came over to the United States, how the process has been. So Franklin, is just like you sharing, Francis, sorry, it's just like you sharing your story. And then the population of people we have here are all NCLEX passers. And I believe they will
Yeah.
be benefiting from whatever information they have to get from you today. So over to you, Frank.
Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Um,
It's
I'm
morning in
very happy
time.
to be. Well, it's morning in my time. It should be afternoon in your time. We are
Yeah.
about 3 hours, 3 hours, in the space. My name is Francis Obidile. Most people call me Frank. So that's what most people call me. A little introduction I need to do is, okay, Decency is my friend as well as my schoolmate. I'm more like a brother. So I met decency in about 2005, I guess. That should be like 18 years ago. Okay, so we met in school. We were in school together. That's from where I knew him. And from that time till now, I will tell you he has not changed. He's been consistent. So I'm telling you this for you to be able to trust him and to let you know that if somebody have not changed for 18 years, he's not gonna change now. Okay. So that's a little introduction about how we met. Then coming to myself, I'm an ICU nurse. I work my license, first of all, I got my license in New Mexico, but my agency got me job in Oklahoma. So that made me to move down to Oklahoma. That's where my wife and my kids, everybody is. However, I do other stuff. When I was done with my contract, I do other stuff. So I'm a travel nurse. I go around the US. I work any place, any place I see job, I work there. So, but all these things started from Nigeria, started from, the support I got from the agency and everything. So with this introduction, I'm gonna go down to like pre-NCLEX time. So this time I got this, I got signed up with my agency. Um, then it was Avant, but of course I will still tell you other good ones are coming up. Number one is Decency NCLEX Academy, that is doing a lot now. So, but then we got this support in terms of we signed up, we took some exam. After passing the exam and everything, they keep sending us materials, send you textbooks, send you reading materials, send you audio and the rest of that. So we're just doing it, working, doing this, doing that, reading at the same time, all trying to put these things together. Okay. And then the way that helped me to prepare, because I know apart from people that have written NCLEX here, I think there are some here that are yet to write. So I want to also stress what helped me to prepare. So sometimes when I read and read and read and get tired, I listen to audios, I listen to videos. So what I do, I copied my audio lectures into my phone, I copied it into Flash, I copied it into my car. So if I'm going to work, I'm playing the video. If sometimes if I'm in the house, maybe I'm doing chores, maybe I'm cooking or washing clothes or doing whatever, I put the audio and listen. And again, I keep listening to it over and over and over and over again. So this helped me that sometimes when the lecture is going on, because I've listened to it repeatedly, I know what they will say in the next second. I know what they will say in the next minute. I know what they will say in the next couple of minutes because I listened to it over and over and over. Also, when I was writing the exam too, all those things it came back to help because some questions you might see, I might not remember exactly what that means, but I remember I've had this before, and then, all those memories come up. So I'm gonna encourage you guys, for those still preparing for the exam, reading and listening to audio or watching videos especially was really helpful, okay? Another thing I do when I read and got tired, I can watch like pictures, maybe like pictures of some diagnoses or pictures of some disease condition that they explain and everything. It helped me to keep on remembering things because NCLEX is a lot of information that they expect you to put into your skull in a couple of weeks or months, okay? So these are a few things that helped me. Another thing that helped me was like I sometimes I do like group discussions. I have some friends, sometimes we can discuss, exchange ideas, just as I know that we do in Decency Academy, or, do that group sharing of information. It does really, 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 really help. Okay. And then, so this is pre-NCLEX. Afterwards, the agency was able to, support me in a little bit by paying for the flights for me to go write the exam and then come back. So with that exam done, now we're in the phase of post-exam. So when you finish the exam, it will be like you are moving from one step to another. So your journey continues. So at the end of that exam and everything, now we come to the phase of, so what's next? Immigration processing starts. They give you some support, sometimes ask you to fill this form, fill that form, get this information here and there, but they still give you that support, direct you on how to do your medicals and the rest. They put in your information to the immigration with some things you have to provide for them. With that, they will schedule like when you're gonna come for the interview. Most people come with their family. Like me, myself, I came with my family and I had 3 kids. So we did everything together. Some people might be like, okay, it's better, let me go after my wife will come or after my children will come. So at this point, I'm gonna say, personally for me, that's not a good thing. That's not something I would advise you to do because that takes a lot of time. Most of before you know it, they will finish processing your own information and everything. It will be ready. And it might take 5 years or more, or 10 years, maybe maybe 20 years for your family to be able
Yeah,
to come over.
I agree. I
So,
totally agree.
yeah. So the best thing, if you want to do immigration, man, do everything together. As a matter of fact, if you are engaged and you show that this your boyfriend or this your girlfriend, that you guys have really agreed that you married. Some people go as head as maybe doing like a court marriage if they haven't done the main marriage, so that they can file together. Do everything together before um the whole process starts. That way, they will take everybody along, take your kids, take your wife or your husband, everybody, take you guys together to, you know, for the immigration process to start. So, um, at this point, this is a time for you to be patient. That's the truth. Don't expect magic. It's different for everybody. Okay. Even as a matter of fact, because when you have a larger family, it can even take more time. Okay. Because some of the websites you might go like trying to fill the forms and everything, it's gonna take more time, like if you have a larger family. Okay. Another advice I need to give you is if you have maybe let's say you just got married or you just have one child, keep it at that. When you come over here, you have as much as you want because, well, like back home, if you have more kids, that means more money for flights, more money for medicals, more money for everything. And most of the times, many agencies they're gonna, support you by paying for your flights. They're not gonna pay for your wife. They're not gonna pay for your kids and stuff like that. So you have to cough out the money from somewhere. So if you still have a small family, I would advise you just keep it at that. It's gonna help to bring down the cost for you to move over. Okay. And then when we were coming, man, it wasn't easy. It was a hustle. As a matter of fact, I was working in about 4 hospitals in Abuja. I was working in National Hospital Abuja with this guy here. We used to
And
work
yet we
together
go
in the
to another
floor.
place and see ourselves there.
And they tell you, me, I go leave National Hospital Abuja, enter Gariki. This guy dey here. I go say, this NC, so you dey here too. So now so, we're all hustling, trying to make ends meet. I was working in National Hospital Abuja. I came to Nizamiya Hospital, that is Nigerian Turkish Hospital. Decency has already been there, hustling too. and other and a lot of other people.
Mm.
And then, so I've mentioned like 3 hospitals now: National Hospital, Gariki Hospital, Care Funkozo,
Federal staff.
federal staff. Oh, yes, federal staff.
Mm.
So federal staff. So these are like 4 hospitals, and then not to talk of. other small, small ones, other private ones. There is one I used to go with Dr. Gumbo, and I think he goes through. There are one I used to go with Dr. Emeka.
Mm,
Dr. Emeka,
fine. I
yeah.
know the guy. I forgot how his last name is. He's a spine surgeon. Yeah.
Yes, the guy is a spine surgery as well as a spine surgeon as well as all these
Neuro.
neuro doctors,
Mm,
So we did a lot of things, not to talk of businesses that we were doing. So I'm trying to say this, not just to crack joke, but to also tell you, man, you have to. Yes, he's a neurosurgeon. Someone commented. I worked with him for a while. I still chat with him now. So just for you guys to know, man, you need to diversify, yeah, like a tentacle, expand and try to do other things to raise money because this is very, very capital intensive. Okay. So finally we got past with that. Everybody got visa. We went to Lagos, did everything, and then it's time for us to come over here. Coming over here, helped. The agency helped in the sense I'm sorry, I need to hold on, cut this call down. Okay. I'm sorry for the interruption. I better put off this phone because it might still keep coming. Okay. So coming to, like for us to move here, the agency helped in a bit, paid my flight. Oh man, I have to pay a flight for my wife. I have to pay a flight for my three kids. At the end of the day, I think our flight was about $5,000 or more, plus all the money you need for you to pay, like how, rent and so on. So some agencies help you with paying these flights. My agency, they pay just for me. I did other ones. And then coming over, the agency helped me to get like accommodation, um, help us to do some form of orientation, like, put you through, some of them help with the driving, for you to get your driving license, for you to do your medicals, prep you up for you to get the job. Okay. And while they're doing that, some of them might interview you even from Nigeria. And then I think some of them, when we came here, some of us did our interview here. So these were a few things that happened. And then coming here for us to settle down, coming to the hospital, they come with their own challenges. The major challenge I met with the hospital thing is, the consumables are different. I've been a nurse, ICU nurse since 2010. And then I came to America in 2019. So that's like 9 years. But still coming here, you still feel a little bit, you know, it's different. The machines are different. We don't use paper. We don't use computer charting. We use paper, pen and paper as usual. So, but coming here, there are some differences you expect. They do like computer chatting. We have different types of computer chatting. It's not just one. We have Epic, we have Meditech, we have Paragon, we have Senna, we have a bunch of others. But as you walk and walk, you come across this, and sometimes they do like training for you to learn all this. And then before you start work in most of the places, they're gonna do what you call like onboarding. Okay. I'm sure that Decency Academy does that onboarding in the sense of like putting you through what and what you expected to do in the hospital, trying to help you give you information on getting some medical examinations and all of that, all the immunizations that the hospital you're gonna be working for will require from you. Okay. So just expect all these things. And again, keep an open mind. Okay. When you come here, what helps me personally when I'm going to a new place, I don't expect to be treated right. So when you're treating me right, I kind of take it as a surprise or I appreciate it. Okay. Don't expect to be treated right. At the same time, don't expect too much that you'll be suppressed. Then just be in the middle, okay? Be in the middle, okay? Don't allow anybody to like suppress you down. At the same time, don't expect so much love. That's what I'm trying to say here. So that is it. And then some difference in the hospital and work and we did, as I say, was more like the consumables, the machines, the things that they do. Back home and here it's not the same. Here you really have to know your stuff. some of the things that helped me when I came, our agency did some training or give you some information to learn about some procedure. Some of them we even did some practical, like they didn't just throw us into the work. They did some a little training to tell you this and that. Some of them did some like video lecture to help to direct you on some things you need to do, show you some procedures to do so that you know the difference of what they do here, how they do it, and the rest. Okay. So these are just few things that I can talk about agency. Overall, agency helped me in a way that it's good. They helped me to come over here, um, help my family by providing, helping us to get permanent residence, for us to be here and so on. Above all, it also was an opportunity, you know, that saved us from Buhari and the Tinubu and the rest of them. Who knows how we would be if we are still back there? But I also want to encourage you guys that are there. If we can make it from all the things we saw, I'm telling you that you can make it. When I wrote my NCLEX, I was doing a bunch of things. I said I was working with decency in like three different hospitals. I was working with the alloy. I was working with a lot of people. So we were doing all this hustling work. I was doing my BSN, and I have family. And I'm the one that believe in family is not just for wife to be killing herself and doing all the chores. I still get involved in the family because they are why we are doing all these things. They matter. They come first before anybody. Okay. So I still do chores in the house. So when you put all these things together, man, it's a lot. It's a lot, but I'm just have to encourage you not to lose hope, to do your best, put in your best, listen to advice of people that have been here, especially under the leadership of Decency, his admin and other people, because they're gonna put you through. They're not gonna like tell you what won't help you. Okay. Forget about those who are rushing out too much, maybe to leave the people that brought them over here. That's a kind of disloyalty. Okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we'll just do our best. We just do our best. And I believe decency and let me say our group, not just decency, because we are all one. I believe our group is gonna give you guys all the support that you need to be here. And I encourage each and every one of you. Don't look back, don't look at money, don't look at the challenges. A lot of people that came here are more busy than you. That's why I'm telling you what I do. So that you have no excuse. If I can be working in four different hospitals, doing my BSN with family and other things, doing other businesses, and we are here, then you have no reason not to be here. Okay. So that's where I need to round up. So if you have few questions, you can ask and
awesome.
thank you so much,
Thank,
everybody.
thank you so much, Frank. I think I will still have to invite you again for my NCLEX group. Like those that are still like about to write NCLEX, they need to really hear your story because some of them will come to me and say, boss, it's too much. I have to work. I'm a mother, I'm a father, I'm a this and a this. They need to see that you were one of all those things and you still, were able to pull everything and then put all that you have into coming to the United States. Thank you so much for sharing those information. And we have so many questions on the group, on the comment section. People are asking their question. One of them that I would like you to respond to is this person that is requesting for information on how to move his license from New Mexico to Oklahoma. Of course, his endorsement, but I just want to hear your own story and how you were able to do it. Let's
It,
get
oh,
it.
it's very easy. All you need to do is endorsement because I took my exam from, my board was New Mexico. I got from New Mexico, but when we came to Florida, where my agency, Avant, was staying, the work they needed to get for me in New Mexico didn't work out. So they got one for me in Oklahoma. All they need to do is you apply through Oklahoma websites by endorsement. You call it application by endorsement. All they need to do is to say, this guy, this lady have already passed NCLEX in the state of New Mexico. We're just gonna move him into also to have you know, documents to be able to work in Oklahoma. That's what it is. It's no big deal. and then you pay a couple of dollars, maybe $60 or thereabout. That's it. It doesn't take time. The one that takes time really is California. It took me about 9 months for me to get my license to work in California. Okay. As a matter of fact, I got licensed in Oklahoma, but later I moved it from single to multi because we have single license and then you have multi license. So with multi compact license I have in Oklahoma, I can be able to work in about 35 or 40 states. Okay. That is if you have a multi-state license, which is what I have. So I can work in about 35 states. Plus, what do you call it? California. Well, for you to get California, man, they have to do a lot of things. It takes a lot of time to do it. It took me almost 9 months to get it. So right now I'm in California. As a matter of fact, put me in your prayers. They say that Hillary is knocking our door.
I was praying for you guys this morning. I
Yeah,
pray
I
you
saw
have.
your post in our group, decency. Thank you
Mhm.
so much.
Yeah,
And
man.
somebody said she know me from somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people are saying
you've
they
been
know
here
me,
a
that
lot of
my
places.
face look familiar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I schooled in Nnewi. That's what I'm saying. I schooled in Nnewi with decency. Decency was my junior then,
Yes.
right?
Very
I think
junior.
Uno and Esa, you guys were behind us, right? Or two class behind us, right?
It was two class because he used to come to
Two.
our class then teach us anatomy after class.
I used I used to teach decency anatomy. Now he's a big man now.
Oh God. So thank you
It's all
so much,
good.
Frank, for sharing your information. I know some people have one or two questions to ask, but what we're going to do is we're going to do it this way. If you have a question to ask Mr. Frank, I would have to, I will spotlight you. I would ask you to unmute, then you can ask him your question. I will just take two questions because Cynthia, one of our other guests, is waiting. She has her own side of the story to, about coming to the US through direct hire. She has that side of the story to still tell us. According to Frank, in summary, the agency gave her a lot of support. He was able to get so many materials back home. They processed him alone, and then during the process, he was the one taking care of his family in the process. So that's why he had to hard work like three or more jobs to be able to make sure he pays for all the things that are required for the movement. Okay, so well, I just want to see like if you have any question for Frank in particular, if you can put it in comment section better, but if you want to ask him by yourself, I would just put your hands up and then I will get to you and unmute, ask you to unmute. I have someone, Galaxy S10. Is it Galaxy S10? I've asked you to unmute. So you can unmute now and ask your question, okay?
Good evening, boss.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm
Good evening.
fine. That's Ejikeme on the line.
Oh, Ejikeme. How are
Mm,
you?
My boss, I'm fine, sir.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Nice meeting you. You always a wonderful coordinator,
Thank you so much.
making it, finding a way to help your upcoming colleagues. I so
Thank,
much appreciate your efforts, sir. I
thank you.
want to commend you and encourage you to keep on the pace. But my question, sir, is just like Mr. Frank that addressed us now. I want to know exactly how long did it take him post from the post NCLEX time to the time he made his way to US.
Okay. So, Franklin, like after NCLEX, how long did it take you? Can you remember that information before you go to?
Yeah, I took NCLEX in July, I think July 31st, 2018.
Wow.
July July 31st, 2018. And I came to the US January 1st, 2019. So it's almost a year. So let's say approximately maybe about 8, 10 months or thereabouts. But the truth
Exactly.
is, but the truth is, how much it takes me doesn't really matter because it's always individualized to people. Some people, it might take them 2 months, don't be surprised. Some people, it can take them 5 years. Okay. So there is no hard and fast rule about it. all I can say or all I can encourage you to do is when you're doing this business of coming over here, okay, have other things that you are doing. If you want to be doing your business, be doing your business and just presume you are not even coming to US and be doing other things. Keep yourself busy, do other things, make money, go and look for money. Don't be looking at the time you used to come. Look for money. That's what you need. And before you know it, especially when you are busy, it will be time for you. So even if mine is 10 months or 1 year or 2 years, it doesn't matter because it's always different for individuals. If you're a single person, it's faster because they will process just yours. But if you're married and have kids, even filling the form alone can take you time. Okay. There was a time I was filling form for my family. It took us about 2 weeks because you feel and feel and feel something will happen, you lose everything and start afresh again. So what I did in that point is for me to change my browser. I think I was using Internet Explorer. It was just messing me up. I have to change from that browser to I think I use Google Chrome. So when you are filling that immigration form and it's bothering you, try to change the browser. That was a very hard experience for me to learn. Thank you.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome to.
All right. I hope that answered your question, Ejikeme.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So there are several other questions on the chat, but I think they are all the same. So all they are asking is, can you can you pinpoint one thing that you would call a disadvantage? Because I know you said a lot about advantage of using your agency. So is there anything that you would call like a disadvantage in this entire process of using your agency?
Yeah, I can say I have mentioned the advantages. Which part of them is like training you more, giving you more, not just throwing you out there to be eaten by the lions in the floor. Okay.
Yes, a lot of
However,
times.
this yeah, a lot of lions out there. But however, the disadvantage part of it, personally to me, that I would say, is the money.
Money.
Direct hire always pays a lot better. Like you
Mhm.
can't compare it.
Right,
You can't
right.
compare it. But they might not give you, most of the times, they might not give you as much support as agency will give you in terms of preparing you, in terms of grooming you. But they will be taking you like a child, taking care of you, always checking on you and the rest. You don't have that time in direct hire, as far as I know, unless it has changed this morning. This sense, am I right?
Yeah, you're right, but we'll hear from the horse's mouth. So we have somebody here that's a direct hire. I will leave it up to her. She'll be the one to tell us everything. I'm gonna bring her in very soon. Okay. But in a nutshell, agency gives you that support. They kind of carry you, pamper you, call you, ask you if you're feeling all right. And
Yeah,
if the hospital becomes a den of lion, like Frank mentioned, the agency comes in to mediate for you to, try to stand in the gap for you. That is agency, and that's what agencies' responsibilities are. Okay. And then agencies are also responsible also for making the lawmakers in this country to make some of the laws that favors immigration. So if they are out of business, expect that some of the
that's
retrogressions you
true.
have will stay very long time, because most times
Mhm.
they talk to lawmakers, they're able to pull statistics of the nurses in US and how much nurses that they need. And from that statistics, they're able to inform some lawmakers to try to throw in a bill that is going to help to bring in more nurses. Of course, it's not 100% guaranteed, but those push from people within will help to open up more doors for other people that are not here to come in. Okay, so that's one of the some other politics that they play around to be able to make sure that we have a better immigration time frames. If not, some of us will be in this process 10 years and nothing has actually moved. Okay. So in a nutshell, coming to US is both beneficial to us, the nurses, and also the country at large, like the United States. The benefits is a win-win for the United States, when people come over here, because their economy gets better, the currency, the manpower, the labor force, everything is affected by people that are coming in here. Okay, and we're not saying that we are leaving our different countries for forever and ever. We'll never go back. I know for Frank and a lot of other people that are here. They've done tremendous work in trying to take some of the benefit of being here back home. You know, a lot of people have built, a lot of people have developed their communities, a lot of people are sponsoring a lot of charity works, and all those are things that we couldn't do if we were in Abuja doing 4 jobs. You're just doing the 4 jobs, trying to make sure you can carry your family along. Okay. So thank you so very much, Mr. Frank. Thank you for coming and honoring our invitation. I'm going to have you one more time for my NCLEX, write the NCLEX group, those that are about to write their NCLEX, because I would really need you to encourage them, to give them some of your own side of the story about how it was in Nigeria, especially now that we don't know what's going to happen with retrogression. A lot of people will be frustrated in the process. Some people are already going to Saudi Arabia and other countries like that. But with your kind of person coming to tell them your own story, I believe is going to help them to, reposition themselves and, continue to trust the process. All right. So I don't know if there's any other question that I'm leaving unanswered in the comment section. I just assume that everything that is there was just on what is the disadvantage and the advantage and disadvantage. Frank, did you have any
Yes.
final words for us before I let you go? I know I've taken much of your
Okay. Yeah, that buzzing me already.
time.
So,
Okay.
so what I want to say, first of all, I heard when the sense say that he will have me one more time. You can have me as much time as you want. All I need to know, let me just have an in advance so I can plan my own timing. Okay.
Hmm.
This is our business. We are all in this together. So,
Thank you.
but my general thing I need to say before I leave for my Zoom meeting is please don't look back. What you can have here, the opportunities you have here is limitless. Don't look back. That's all I need to tell you. Don't look back. And again, also follow people that have done this before. For you to go and get an information is a lot harder than for you to follow someone that have done it before. Okay. Follow Decency Academy, follow Decency's admin, okay? And we are all here to support you. And we pray that God will help us deliver our country, Nigeria, from Tinubu and all the bad people over there trying to mess us up. All right. Nice being here.
Disclosure.
Jesus, thank you for
So,
having me.
some
It's
people
my
are
pleasure
Tinubu
to be here.
supporters. Thank you so much, Frank.
Well,
Thank you. I really
anyway,
appreciate
I
it.
don't know. But I'm just saying my mind.
Okay,
Okay.
that's your
Bye.
personal opinion. Thank you so
My
much.
personal opinion, of
Yeah,
course.
I
All
really
right. Thank you,
appreciate it.
everybody.
All right. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave now. All
All
right.
right. Thank you
Bye.
so much. We appreciate you.
Okay.
All
Thank
right,
you.
people, we have another person in our midst. Before Frank leaves, just go to the comment section, tell him thank you. I know he might be somewhere in the background reading that, or he would read that maybe afterwards. Tell him thank you if you can. We have about 74 people here. If you can have 74 thank yous on the comment section, that would be a great one. Okay, so we have Cynthia. Cynthia is one of my very own person. Cynthia has been in the United States for close to 2 years now. Cynthia is also a direct hire nurse. She has worked in her facility ever since she came here. She's been in her facility, and she has a very sweet story to tell about her coming to the US. I spoke to her yesterday, and when we got talking, I was like, well, you know what? I had other plans for my program today, but if you are able to help me, attend this program, that would be a great joy to me because you have a lot to offer. And she said, yes, I can come. And we just within a very short notice, Cynthia was able to accept to come to our program today. So, Cynthia, I really appreciate your willingness to help out with giving our people information. We have about 72 people on the program,
Wow.
and I have so many other people that are listening to you right now. And this program is recorded, so it's going to be played to those that were not able to come for the meeting. Okay, so Cynthia, I just want you to give us a brief introduction about yourself. Then you tell us about your journey, your pre-NCLEX stage, and then what happened then, and then when you met your direct hire recruitment. How was it? That's post NCLEX and then post arrival. How has all these things been with you? Okay. So Cynthia, you're welcome to speak now. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Decency. And Mr. Frank, is he gone?
Yeah, I think he's gone now, but he might
It's
join.
gone.
Yeah.
Mr. Frank is actually a cousin to my husband, and I spoke with him yesterday. I didn't even know he was going to be in this.
Oh, really?
I didn't even know he was going to be in this meeting. So my name is Cynthia Ejefobihi. I've been a registered nurse in the United States for a year plus, and I met Mr. Decency during my process. And you guys are lucky because during my own time, a lot of information about traveling to the US was hidden. People were doing it, they were not telling. Even you would not know that the next person sitting close to you was doing anything. They were not telling people. We were struggling to get information. And by the time I got to the process of fingerprinting card, that was when somebody said, there's a guy in Abuja that you can get it from. I didn't even know. What I did with this NC was just to get the card and continue my process and continue begging and sourcing for information. But right now, this NC Academy is there sharing flyers everywhere, telling everybody anything. So you guys are very lucky. So at the point after my fingerprinting card, I actually met Decency few weeks to my exam, and then joined the group and took my exams, passed my exams, and came back to the academy because I was bored. After struggling every day reading, I didn't play. My name was unlimited data. My data, like I don't say my data has finished because I'm watching videos and everything that I can lay my hands on. So I wasn't looking at how much I was buying data. It will just, once the money finishes from my account, the money enters immediately and I will subscribe to data. So after my exams, I was bored. I didn't know what to do. I just started poultry, went into farming, fish pond. I was just reading every day and then coming out and not having anything to read. It was very frustrating. So I joined the academy. I was like, well, if I can teach people NCLEX, why am I sitting down here getting bored for? I joined the academy. Most of you know me as Boss Tony. I joined the academy and started teaching, and it was rough because as at the time, the agency that I joined was not doing anything for us, let me say. And then then it came the Trump's ban. So because a lot of people are calling me and crying about this retrogression, it happened in our own time, but it happened at the time Trump banned us. So I didn't bother myself. I continued with what I was doing, going to my farm, selling my chicken and my fish, and I didn't even care. Now, after the ban, I kept calling my agency and they kept saying that, I don't know what they're doing right now, that my credential evaluation, that the last report they gave didn't say that what we did in Nigeria was equivalent to an associate degree. And for that, they put me on hold. I called some other people and noticed that some people who did their credential evaluation of 2019 and 2020, some of their credential evaluation specified that it was equivalent to an associate degree. So they tried to reevaluate my credentials here in America and it still came out the same way. So I had to leave that agency. And when I heard about direct hire, I applied to another agency. I don't know if some people can do direct hire on their own, but I know you can go through an agency and get your direct hire. I don't know if anybody can go through the hassle of getting an immigration lawyer and all those process. I think it should be done by an agency. So an agency where was advertising for direct hire, and so I joined them. So one of the things that kept me waiting also for another 4 months was after I have waited for a year and 6 months was the prevailing wage determination for that particular hospital that was going to hire us. And we had to wait for that for 4 months. But immediately that they got, the fact they filed for me the same day they got that prevailing wage. Immediately they got it, they started our filing. The process for me was long because from the time I passed my NCLEX to the time that I was filed for, it took a while. I waited for the prevailing wage for another 4 months. But the process of from filing to case complete was like 2.5 months. And then we now had to wait for interview dates for months again. So choosing to be an agency nurse or direct hire, I feel is a personal decision that you have to make. Now, I don't want to advertise any agency. I don't want to advertise any hospital or any state, because once I do that, a lot of you will start breaking your contracts. Please do not break your contract. Please. One of the benefits that I would say for me, I don't know if it's from my hospital, but I know some other hospitals, one of the pros of being an agency nurse is that you are a direct hospital staff. For me here, I'm a direct hospital staff. The agency, just like the hospital said, bring these people, hand them totally over to me. I'll be the one to pay them. If they mess up, I'll be the one to take care of it. So the agency was totally off our back. Even though we do go back to them, if the hospital starts giving us hell, we'll go back to the agency and say, see, these people you brought me, look at what they are doing. But when we joined the hospital, we had a lot of benefits that core staffs are supposed to benefit from. Like one of the benefits is the health insurance, because I've heard a lot of people say that they don't have insurance, and when they see people coming from Nigeria, they ask people coming from Nigeria to bring them medications. We know we do self-medication in Nigeria. Here in America, if you do it and get in trouble, if you do it and it doesn't work out well, you will get in trouble with the law. Because you're not a doctor, you don't have the right taking medications that a doctor didn't prescribe for you, and let alone you're buying it for you're buying medications and stocking. Yeah, I won't lie to you. We brought medications, but all of them have expired because I didn't even have to use them. And because we have health insurance, under the health insurance, we have medical, we have dental, and we have vision. And my hospital being a teaching hospital, you can tell that we get all that from our hospital, but we still have to pay. It's not like free. It's not like the NHIS we do in Nigeria, and you say they're not even taking money from my salary, and I get free health care. You every month, your money. For me, I have a family of 5, and every paycheck I pay $100 for both the dental, medical,